Hello?
Good morning, Miss Amanda.
Morning. Hello?
Hello, Miss Amanda. Miss, you are muted.
Yes, she's muted.
Good morning, Miss Amanda.
Sorry, I was in the bathroom, so I just came.
Miss Amanda. Miss Amanda's muted.
Miss, you are muted.
Hello?
Good morning, everybody. I'm sorry it took me a few minutes to get connected. We had a problem with the computer at school. I'm at school today. Just 1 minute and we'll get started. Please sign your name in the chat box for attendance. Yes, Leanne.
Hi, Miss Amanda. Miss Amanda, the chat box is disabled.
Chat box is disabled at school. That's right, forgot. Okay, honey, thank you. All right,
You're
if you're putting
welcome.
up your hand to tell me that the chat box is disabled, you can put your hand down. Thank you very much. I will take your names from the participants list. Okay, just 1 minute. I will try to enable the chat. If not, I'll take your name from the list. Lots of hands up. Do we have questions or are we raising our hand to tell me about the chat box? Farida, do you have a question?
I just wanted to say that the chat box was disabled.
Okay, if anybody is raising their hand to tell me about the chat box, please put your hand down. I already know. Thank you. Thank you for telling me. Okay. Anybody else have a question? There were about 7 hands up. Just want to make sure you don't have questions. Okay. All right, we're going to start today with your turn practice workbook. Yes, Leanne.
Miss Amanda, is there a reading quiz on Sunday because I want to study?
Is there a reading quiz listed on your weekly plan, sweetheart?
No, it's not on the weekly plan.
Then there's not a reading quiz on Sunday.
Okay,
If there's a reading
thank
quiz on Sunday, it would be written on your weekly plan, okay?
you. Okay, thank you.
Okay, honey. Yes, Yassine.
Miss, you the quiz like what time?
Yassine, you muted your mic. What did you say?
Miss, is a story you you give us a story.
Honey, you didn't attend yesterday's meeting. We did the story. We started the story yesterday and we did the big story yesterday in class.
Of what your name?
It's written on your weekly plan, sweetheart. Check your weekly plan. You guys have got to get in the habit of checking your weekly plan for the information you need instead of asking me. You need to learn to rely on yourself. I put all the information for you guys on Smart School. You need to go and check Smart Schools for yourself. Okay, the older you get and as you go upstairs, the teachers are not going to spoon feed you all this information. You have to be able to help yourself. You guys are big boys and girls now. You can go to the weekly plan. It's posted every week for you and you can find all the information that you need. I get lots of messages at my home with questions that are answered on the weekly plan or on Smart Schools. So you guys really, you're getting big now. You're going to go upstairs next year. You have to learn to problem solve and find this information for yourself. So Yassine, please check the weekly plan and please check the weekly plan and you'll be able to find out the name of the story and the pages listed, okay? All right, let's get started. Okay, let's get started on page 121 in your turn practice workbook. 121 in the your turn practice workbook. Oh, I'm sorry, 111. I'm sorry, 111. 111 is our page for this week, 111. 121 is grade 3, sorry. Okay, let's take a look at page 111. On page 111, there is a story with fill in the blanks for your vocabulary words. Let's see, I'm going to pick a narrator to read the story for us, and I will call on a person to fill in the blanks. Just 1 second. Let's see, Hamza, how about you be our narrator today?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Miss, could I
All right.
ask you something fast?
Of course.
What page are we on?
Page
Sorry.
100.
Indeed,
We're on
your turn.
your turn practice workbook, page 111.
Page 111. Okay.
Okay, give them just 1 second. I want to make sure everybody has their book open. Yes, Tahir, what's your question?
Listen, which book?
Your turn practice. Yes, Yassine.
Miss, we will work now. And
I can't hear you.
111.
Yes, honey, we're going to do 111 together.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay? All right, so now Hamza is going to be our narrator, and Hamza will read and he will stop at each blank. If you would like to answer, people, please put your hands down until we actually have a question. You're putting your hand up and we haven't read anything and there are no questions, so please put your hands down. Farida, do you have a question?
Yes, I wanted to ask what page are we gonna open in the
I
your
can't
turn?
hear you, honey.
I just wanted to ask what page are we gonna open into your turn?
I said the page already 3 times, 111.
All right, thank you.
111, okay?
Okay.
Page 111. All right. Now, when Hamza gets to the blank, if you would like to answer, you can raise your hand. Yes, Ed.
Hello?
Yes, Ed.
Okay.
Do you have a question?
No, I want to answer.
Okay, raise your hand once we get to the blank. Don't raise it now. There is no question now. Thank you. Please keep your hands down. Follow directions. When we get to blank, you can raise your hand, okay? All right. Hamza, whenever you're ready.
The students of the two volunteer
Okay. Mohammed, what's your answer?
Organizations?
That's correct. Very good. The students of the two volunteer organizations, Hamza.
were excited to be on a trip, going on a trip. Due to all their hard work and the
Okay. Jannah?
assigned
Due to all their hard work and, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Due to all their hard work and assigned, no, not assigned, honey. Melik? Melik, do you have an answer? Melik, I'm trying to unmute you.
Yes.
You raised your hand to answer.
Yes, I know.
Do you know the answer? I can't hear you, honey.
Gingerly.
Gingerly, no, honey. Guys, listen to what it's saying. Due to the hard work and Wahba,
Generosity.
that's right, generosity. People were giving. Yes, thank you. Very good. Okay. Continue, Hamza.
They they showed by helping others. The students were rewarded with a trip to an apple orchard. After about an hour drive, the students arrived at their destination. They were welcomed by a few of the
Okay, let's see. Ragmini. Ragmini, can you answer for us?
Okay, residents.
I'm sorry. I
Residents.
just didn't hear you. I'm sorry. Residents, that's correct. By a few of the residents. Okay, thank you. Hamza?
who lived at the orchard all year long. The manager explained how they would help gather apples, which the students plan to give to those in need. I'm really excited to have you here, the manager said. I have
Okay, Jannah?
assigned.
That's right, assigned. I have assigned.
I have assigned each of you to a part of the orchard. This way you won't be picking apples from the same trees. I need you to be very
Reem?
Selective.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Selective.
Not selective. Oh, yes, selective. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, honey. You are right. I'm sorry. Selective. I went past the word. I'm sorry. You are correct. We need you to be very selective. Remember, when we are selective, we make a careful choice. Okay, continue, Hamza.
and only pick apples that are
Only pick apples that are Farah?
mature.
Mature, right. That's when the apple is ready to be picked, mature. Okay? It has been on the vine long enough.
And
Okay.
ripe. After some more
Okay, thank you, Hamza.
instructions, the students were
Okay, after more instructions, the students were what, Leanne?
Generally.
No, not gingerly.
Uh,
Abdurrahman? Abdurrahman?
It is scattered.
Scattered, that's right. They were scattered. The students were all spread out across the orchard. Okay?
Okay.
Hamza? Hamza?
scattered to different parts of the orchard. The students had a great time as they
The students had a great time as they ISO. Hello, ISO. ISO, I'm trying to unmute your mic. Hello. All right, Basil.
Yes. Two different parts of the
No, honey, I just want you to answer. The students had a great time as they what?
uh,
There's only one word left. Have you been following along as we were going?
I was in the bathroom.
Okay.
Miss, may I answer this question?
I don't know who is, Hamza, let somebody else answer. You read the whole paragraph, honey. Let
Okay.
somebody else answer. Let's give somebody else a chance to talk. Yassine. Mr. Guda, can you answer for us? Hello, Yassine. I'm trying to unmute your mic.
Hello, Miss. Miss, I know it.
The students had a great time as they what?
As exchanger.
Okay, we only have an answer left. I'm sorry, say it again.
Exchanger.
Gingerly, that's right. Gingerly. Thank you, honey. Gingerly, okay? Gingerly. The students had a great time, Hamza?
Yes. Hello.
Yes, Hamza, can you finish?
Climbed ladders in order to pick the best apples.
That's right, okay? Now, let's read through it together because we had it broken where everyone was answering. Let's read through. Let's see. Farida, why don't you read for us?
Sure. The paragraph.
Yes, honey, read.
The students of the two volunteer organizations were excited to be going on a trip. Due to all their hard work and the generosity they showed by helping others, the students were rewarded with a trip to an apple orchard. After about an hour drive, the students arrived at the destination. They were welcomed by a few of the residents who lived at the orchard. All year long, the manager explained how they would help gather apples, which the students planned to give to those in need. I'm really excited to have you here, the manager said. I have assigned each of you to a part of the orchard. This way you won't be picking apples from the same trees. I need you to be very selective and only pick apples that are mature and ripe. After some more instructions, the students were scattered to different parts of the orchard. The students had a great time as they gingerly climbed ladders in order to pick the best apples.
Okay, great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so my signal is breaking up very badly, so I can barely hear you guys. You keep cutting in and out. So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to put you on hold for just 1 minute. I'll be right back. I'm gonna see if I can move things around, try to get a better signal. Just give me 1 minute, okay? Be right back. I'm sorry, guys, I'm having technical problems here at school today. It's so much better when I'm at home. I don't have any problems with my net. Okay, I'm putting all your hands down. Just 1 second. Putting your hands down so we can move on to the next page. Now, I have all hands down for those people who wanted to answer. If you have a question, you can raise your hand now. All right, let's move on to page 116. Page 116 in the reading practice workbook, your turn. 116. This is the page where we talk about the genre every week. Yes, Reem, do you have a question?
Miss, I want to read.
Okay, I didn't ask yet who wants to read. So I want you guys to keep your hands down, and I've said this before. Unless I'm asking a question, please don't put your hands up unless you have a question.
Okay.
Okay, you guys raise your hands when you have questions or when I ask you to raise your hands for something. I keep stopping because I see your hands go up. If you don't have a question, please don't raise your hand. Reem, I'm putting your hand down because I haven't asked anybody if they wanted to read. Okay, so unless you have a question, please don't put your hand up while I'm talking because I keep stopping. Layam, what's your question?
What page?
Page 116, the page is on the screen.
Okay, thank you.
All right, I'm going to choose a reader to read for us. Let's see. Malik, how about you? Hello, Malik.
Yes,
Can you read for us, please?
sure. Miss, I just wanted to ask, like, what page?
The page is on the screen, guys.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Okay, I have it.
Go ahead, honey.
Jane, the bag parrot.
The bag
Jane
parade.
was, yeah, the bag parade. Jane was receiving a citizenship award during the 8th grade graduation. As she stood on the stage with the other award winners, she thought about the actions she took that led her to this award. 4 years ago, Jane and her friends were walking home from school. They saw litter all over the sidewalk. Her friend Alex said, "We need to do something. What if the organize a garbage bag parade?" Jane didn't know what she meant. Alex explained that they could invite neighbors to help clean up street next Saturday. After they filled bags, they could take
them to the dumpster and the community center. It would be like a parrot. Jane smiled and listened to the end of the principal's introduction, and then she walked across the stage to accept the award.
Okay, thank you, Malik.
You're welcome.
Okay, now, how can we tell that this story is realistic fiction? Raise your hand if you'd like to answer and tell us how we can tell our story is realistic fiction. I'd love to see some new hands. I see the same hands every time I ask a question. I have half the class that sits at the bottom of the page and doesn't want to answer or participate. Remember, you get participation grades. All right, Adito, tell us, please, how is this text realistic fiction?
It is a realistic fiction because its characters are not real.
Okay, is that what realistic fiction is? Characters that are not real?
And it can happen in real life.
Okay, so but if it can happen in real life, then the characters would have to be real, right? Adito.
Yes,
So the characters are like people in real life, or they're not real?
they are like people.
That's right. They're like people in real life, like the people that we deal with every day, and the events and the setting are also like everyday events and settings that we deal with. Okay, so it could happen in real life. It has characters that I might know. It's like people that we encounter every day in our lives. All right, I got a message from students saying that they don't have their books. If you do not have your books because you left them at school and you left abruptly or you didn't know that you weren't coming back, you have to make arrangements with the administration to come to school to get your books. Okay, you need your books. You cannot come to the meeting without books. You've got to find a way to come and get your books, okay? So your parents need to contact the school and find a day that they can come and they can pick it up from the classroom or from your locker. Okay, you need your books. All right. Next question. How do we know there is a flashback in the text? Let's remind first, what is a flashback? Who can tell me what a flashback is? Mohammed, what's a flashback?
Hello?
Hello, Mohammed.
The flashback?
Yeah?
It's when an author takes the reader back to the event that happened in the past.
That's exactly right, Mohammed. Excellent. So it's when our author takes us back to an event that happened before our story. Okay? How do you know there's a flashback in this text? How can we tell that there is a flashback in our text? What do we see? Hamza, how about you?
We know that there is a flashback because in the paragraph it said 4 years ago, Jean and her
That's right.
friends were working home.
That's right. It says 4 years ago. So that tells us that the event happened before. Okay, 4 years.